What if I told you there are cities so strange, so meticulously planned that they forgot about people entirely? Some were built in the jungle, some were built in the desert, some were built by authoritarian regimes, and all of them, in one way or another, failed. Today, we're diving into the weirdest cities ever built, and why every one of them, from Brasilia to Songdo, became urban cautionary tales. Because when a city looks perfect on a paper, that's exactly when it's most likely to go wrong. So, what is the pattern? You take a powerful government or a visionary architect, add billions of dollars, throw in a blank canvas of land, and design a brand new city from scratch based on ideals, not realities. But here's the thing, real cities are messy. They grew, evolve, fight, and adapt. You can't just skip ahead and build utopia. When you try, you often get a city that looks great from above but feels lifeless from the ground. Brasilia is the most famous planned capital in the modern history. Built in the 1950s, it was meant to represent a new era for Brazil, a future-facing capital away from the colonial coast. Designed by architect Oscar Niemeyer and urbanist Lucio Costa, the entire city was laid out like an airplane. Yes, an airplane. The central axis was for government, the wings were for housing, everything was zoned, everything was organized. It was beautiful, in theory, but in practice, Brasilia became a city without street life. Everything was separated, walking was nearly impossible, shops were buried in parking lots, public transit was underdeveloped, and poor communities pushed to the edges. As J. Coase might say, it lacked eyes on the street. Even though Brasilia is a UNESCO World Heritage Site, many Brazilians today see it as cold, bureaucratic, and alienating. You can't design a city for cars and elites and expect it to feel alive. Let's jump across the globe to Songdo. This was supposed to be the smart city of the future. Built near Incheon Airport, Songdo was designed from the ground up to be ultra-connected, environmentally advanced, and digitally optimized. Buildings had sensors, trash went underground, roads were wide, bike lanes clean, and architecture sleek. It was a green city before green cities were cool. But there was a problem. People didn't move in. Songdo, for all its innovation, lacked one essential thing: vibrancy. There were no messy street vendors, no spontaneous music or crowded sidewalks, no culture that had grown over time. Because culture doesn't come from code, it comes from people. Songdo was a city built on ideas, but not with its future residents in mind. And despite billions spent, it never really came to life. And then there is Naypyidaw, one of the strangest cities on earth. In 2005, Myanmar's military government suddenly moved the capital from Yangon to this brand new city in the middle of the country. It has 20-lane highways, giant places, massive roundabouts, but almost no people. It's eerily quiet, like a video game waiting for NPCs to spawn. Why was it built? Some say it was for strategic military control. Others say it was astrological. Whatever the reason, Naypyidaw is a capital city without a capital soul. And that matters, because when cities are built for rulers instead of residents, they don't function as cities. They become symbols, empty ones. The last example is Masdar City, a city designed to be carbon neutral in the middle of the desert. Founded by the UAE government, Masdar aimed to be the world's most sustainable city. Solar panels, electric vehicles, wind towers to cool the streets. It was the poster child for eco-urbanism. But like Songdo, it never truly filled up. Costs skyrocketed, deadlines slipped, and people simply didn't move in. Because sustainability isn't just about buildings, it's about social sustainability too. People want culture, affordability, access, and when cities are designed for investors or branding, they forget that. So what do these cities teach us? Planning alone isn't enough. Cities aren't puzzles to be solved. They're living organisms. Top-down visions often fail. When cities are designed without citizen voices, they become sterile. You can't shortcut culture. Vibrant neighborhoods take decades to evolve. Good design starts at street level. If you want a city people love, focus on walkability, spontaneity, and human scale. And here's the paradox. Most of these cities fail because they try too hard to be perfect. But real cities succeed by being messy, chaotic, and alive. Urbanism isn't just about form, it's about people. And every failed city is a lesson, if we're willing to listen.